When it comes to me designing or having a design day, which specifically is about the fastball and the cutter and how I pair those off each other, again, I'm going to speak from personal experience. This isn't to say that you need to do this or you need to do that, but just from those two clips you see with the Rapsodo data integrated in those videos, all I'm really trying to do is keep cutter very, very similar to the four-seam fastball. Now, you're going to see the four-seam fastball right around 7 horizontal for me, and then the cutter is going to be minus 2.9, I believe that clip was. So probably around a 9-inch difference in the horizontal profile, but when it comes to the vertical, very similar. Now, again, when it comes to the hitter seeing a pitch out of my hand, I want it to be fastball, 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 and then at the very end, a little slight deviation in movement profile. Now, my cutter spin efficiency ranges from around 60 to, I think that one was 82, so that's going to give me a pretty good idea on when that movement is occurring. If I could get that spin efficiency number down to around 60, I think I would be a little bit better off. When it's at 80, the movement profile is very, I would say, predictable, and it's not really moving a whole lot. But in terms of the vertical profile on it, that's exactly where I would want my cutter, because that's another pitch that I can pair off my high fastball, which with my fastball it ranges anywhere from like 17 to 20 inches of vertical. But in terms of grip, you can check out the pitch breakdown that I did on my cutter, which goes into a little bit more detail on how I hold it and what I'm thinking about it. But you can just see from that video that it's very similar to my fastball, with a lot of energy and pressure behind the baseball with just a preset tilted axis, which again I believe gives me the opportunity to increase the spin and increase the hand speed throughout, which keeps the velocity up. But as I mentioned, just to recap, on days where I'm designing specifically for the fastball cutter combination, I'm really just focusing on one piece, which is the video, the slow motion video, on how much do I get around the baseball, because that's kind of been my biggest breakdown with the cutter. Is I'll get into game opportunities and like I'll subconsciously want to miss a bat with that cutter, and I'll get around it. So you'll see the spin efficiency drop, almost get like real sliderish. The velocity will get down to like 84. So I know just by looking at the video on where my fingers and where the pressure is at release, and it's very similar to how my fastball is, where it's the pressure is even and my cutter is just a slight tilt. So when I'm looking at the Rapsodo data, that kind of just echoes exactly what I'm seeing from the slow motion video at ball release. I just want to look at that spin efficiency number. I want to look at where my horizontal and vertical breaks are, and then my spin axis, again, very similar to the fastball in terms of wanting it closer to 12. When it's really close to 12, like that one was 1136, that's going to be almost 2 straight. And I kind of want to get that around 1040 to 11, I would say. Keep it similar to my fastball. If I get any drop in that, there's going to be a slight dot on the ball. So that's another thing that I can look at in terms of the slow motion video and the Rapsodo data in terms of the spin axis. But as far as the actual execution of the pitch, not only am I looking at these types of things, but I'm also, while throwing, putting an emphasis on those locations, because I want to throw the fastball, top quadrant, those top 3, and then I want to be able to throw the cutter in those top 3 as well. As you can see from the vertical break profile, that it actually will play a little bit up in the zone. So hopefully that made sense. But like I said, that's me. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be you, but take it for what it's worth.